Hello, my name is Kaehalee Shinde. I'm a psychotherapist and today I'm here to talk to you guys about mental and behavioral wellness, not a destination but a process. Let's understand what wellness or well-being means. It's very difficult to define a process, something that is so subjective for every person. However, if we were to try, wellness or well-being can mean something that we strive for on a regular basis. Being functionally able to create meaning and joy and purpose for as long as we can. This is what well-being means for a lot of people in their own way, of course. When people talk about wellness, they talk about emotional, intellectual, vocational, social, spiritual, and even physical well-being. However, I think we need to take a moment and come to understand that we are one whole being and we need to stop looking at people as a sum of their parts. Our mind, our brain, is the CPU and responsible both for the tangible physical processes that go on within us and the intangible mental processes. So when we talk about well-being as a whole, in a holistic way, it is very difficult to separate mental well-being from physical well-being. Globally, the healthcare system currently focuses too much on pathogenesis and disease. I'm going to take a moment here to point out that remission of disease is not wellness or well-being. However, we are seeing that the fulcrum of healthcare is shifting from the primary physician to a health coordinator or even a lifestyle coach. And there is a very important reason why this is happening. There are a lot of setups which are also incorporating the multidisciplinary approach to health. I'm going to point out a case just to understand why this is so very important. I'm going to present a case which sounds a little stereotypical, but I do see them often in my clinic. A 30-year-old female walks in. She's noticeably going through a lot of problems and is extremely stressed out. She's 30, she's just had a breakup, and the family is weighing on her to get married and get the arranged marriage process starting very soon. She's feeling extremely anxious, she has sleep disturbances, she's irritable at home, she's not able to focus and concentrate on her work. She feels extremely worried all the time, and to cope with her feelings, she lands up eating and she's noticing that she's gaining weight, and that is adding to her stress as well. Now, very recently, she has started noticing that she is also experiencing an eczema type rash, which has got her extremely worried. She has been to a primary physician and she was told, a lot of tests were done, they were found to be within normal limits, and she was told that she is well. Now she went back home even more stressed than she came in. When she came to me, she was almost in tears. And this is when I realized that there are a lot of aspects out here at work. And even though we look at one specific aspect, for example, I would look at mental health, the nutritionist will look at the nutrition part. It is extremely important to build a team where everybody could handle this case together, because not one is going to solve the problem. We are going to require to take care of all the different aspects together for this person to finally feel well again. We are at the precipice of a new era. The technological revolution is going to fundamentally alter the way in which we live, work, and relate to one another. This, coupled with the current global pandemic, has completely changed the way in which people have now started to look at their health. Healthcare professionals are approached not only when something has gone wrong and needs to be fixed or worked on, but also to build and maintain health. However, when people do think about in terms of their health, they think about it in terms of specific goals to be achieved, or rather specific numbers to be achieved in terms of dress size, weight, or even specific health markers. But is well-being truly achieved when we achieve these specific goals? There are some people who do not think of health as a continued, deliberate endeavor day in and day out. And then there are those who will overexert and injure themselves in their endeavor to achieve these goals as soon as possible. Let's understand what happens when we try to achieve this goal. There is something known as the post-adrenaline blues. This happens when all of us work consistently, long-term, over a specific goal to attain. It can be a marriage, a function, a big event that's happening in our lives, or even in terms of athletes, it can be a specific tournament or a marathon that they're persistently working towards. Now, even when the outcome of these events are overall happy and wonderful, right, it is experienced that people feel extremely sad, they feel defeated, and they're not able to enjoy what they have just achieved. This is very commonly seen in a lot of people as well. Also, we have seen in terms of weight loss. When people come, they want to fit into a specific dress size, or they have always dreamt of achieving a specific weight, and they do that. However, when they look in the mirror, they still have a lot of self-doubt. They have guilt. They are unable to feel confident no matter how externally they're looking. This proves that well-being is not going to be achieved when even when people achieve the specific goals that they set out for. Journey of well-being, in my opinion, when done right, is relative, transient, and ever evolving. Well-being is so much more than sickness and health. And the beauty of this journey is that, should we choose it, it can be a lifelong process of trial and error, learning, unlearning, and relearning. The reason why this is important is because when we are trying to work on something, whether we are trying to work on our mental health, on our nutrition, on exercise, on diet for specific reasons, for lifestyle disorders, whether we have been diagnosed with, we are being told that we are pre-diabetic or borderline hypertensive, or if anything else has been found with our health and we are trying to work on it, our life doesn't stop in the meanwhile. And that is something we want to always remember, that while we are working towards our goal, it doesn't mean that our entire life has come to a halt, and it doesn't have to come to a halt. So, well-being can be answered in the following questions. Can I go for that trek with my friends? Will my knees permit me to do it? Can I chase my grandchildren around? Am I going to be able to go bungee jumping or skydiving or do any of these adventure sports without my health limiting me? Can I put in a hard day of work and come back and be patient with my children? Am I going to be able to enjoy the simple pleasures that life presents me, even though while I'm in the middle of a crisis? Human beings are dynamic. We interact with what is happening around us and what is happening within us, and we change, we are transformed. Therefore, a solution that worked for us once may not work today again. We may achieve a certain goal, and that may still not change anything until we persevere to make that effort day in and day out. We have to respect the dynamic nature of being as human beings. Let's say we put in an effort today, right? I put in an effort tomorrow, and then something comes up, right? A work commitment comes up, a health emergency comes up, and we find it so difficult to get started again. That is the difficulty with wanting to achieve that goal, a specific goal. Because you may achieve it, you may not achieve it, but that doesn't have to let you stop making that effort. We have to be kind with ourselves. We have to respect that we are going to be fallible, we are going to fail, we are going to make mistakes. I may not follow my nutrition 100%. I may still enjoy that food that I like. I may still not want to get out of bed one day. I may need a mental health day. I may just be feeling off about something and I don't feel like pushing myself and getting up that day, and that's okay. What happens is, when we get into the habit of trying to be perfect, we guilt ourselves, we blame ourselves, and then it gets even more difficult to get back up and start working on that goal again. Therefore, it's important to start looking at this from a different perspective. As allied healthcare professionals, we need to change the way in which we approach right from the beginning. We need to ask our patients, what is the skill that I can help you learn in terms of nutrition, in terms of exercise, in terms of mental health even. We need to make the shift where the patient has an autonomy over the choices he is making with respect to his health. Able to do this well, we are going to have to shift our focus from motivation to discipline. Motivation may be here today and may not be there tomorrow. And the want of motivation to be able to achieve specific goals that we set out to ourselves usually holds us back and stops our efforts midway. To be able to work towards a healthy life, to be able to work towards well-being and overall wellness, we are going to have to accept that this is a lifelong journey. It's not going to be in parts. It's not going to stop with achieving a specific goal. We're going to have to keep striving towards it. Today may not be a great day. Tomorrow may not be a great day. I may even have a bad week. And that's completely all right, because there are going to be different phases in my life. One day I'm going to have a certain level of motivation, one day I'm not. But I can still wake up and make that effort to keep doing it over and over again. Wellness is achieved when we find that unique way to live well. Just like being on a bicycle, if we want to find a balance, we are going to have to keep on moving. So, find your journey.